Andrew Pollock here, doing another video. I wanted to discuss with you guys the foundation topic because that's such an important part to success with marketing. A lot of people want to skip that piece and they want to jump right into driving traffic. They want to do Facebook ads and Google and all this cool stuff. But without the foundation, without the right lead gen, none of it works, right? I've talked about this in a lot of my videos. I start my book. The first 2 chapters talk about that specifically. So in your world as a loan officer, you absolutely have to have a website. Your own website, not a page within your corporate site or your broker site. You've got to have your very own website, your own domain name, and that website has to be optimized for lead conversion. Without that, you've really got just an online business card. It's like a digital brochure with a link to a loan application. If I find you on Google or a realtor recommended I talk to you, for example, that's not a slam dunk. People don't just jump into a 1003 application. You've got to approach it the same way LendingTree does it, the same way Quicken Loans is doing it. These are huge companies who have spent a lot of money figuring out how do you convert an anonymous website visitor and turn them into a lead. And it's not just, put a contact form in front of them or put a loan application there. There's a psychology in terms of how you ask for information. The colors that you use to get people to click on your button in the first place will make a big difference. The questions that you ask, the call to action that you present, all that is going to make a big difference in terms of whether or not someone is going to fill something out before they leave. And that's the name of the game when it comes to online, whether it's mobile or desktop. If somebody's on your site, if they found you, that's half the battle. Congrats, you got them to your website. Let's not fumble on the 1-yard line and let them now just click around, read some stuff, and leave. We've got to be really strategic with how we present the calls to action, how we guide these people into a really smart questionnaire that doesn't scare them off. It asks the right questions in the right order, the right number of questions. And we don't go for the jugular and just ask name, email, and phone number, tell me where you live, give up all this personal stuff when you don't know me and you just found me online, right? So there's a whole method to the madness when it comes to converting a lead. And that's what I always stress with my clients, with our loan officers. It's making sure you have that foundation there. Otherwise, none of the other marketing that you're trying to do is going to work at all. We've got to convert leads. We've got to have a setup that's optimized for lead conversion, and you have to have a site that's built for that. Your website is going to make or break whether or not all of your other marketing efforts are going to work. It's like the hub, right? So we got to have a site built for lead conversion. What I've done is I've included a link to a demo that shows you what I'm talking about in terms of an example, because I can talk about this, but I can also link you to something that's going to show you what a lead conversion website should look like and how it should perform. So click the link below. That's going to give you an example of that site. If you want to learn more, you can obviously reach out to Lead Pops. That's what we're here for. But check out that site on your own time. See if you can kind of gather what we're doing. I think as you start to click around and you start to see how strategically we're providing content, but we're layering it with lead conversion tools throughout the entire website. The same way you're going to see LendingTree's doing it. Same way you're going to find Zillow. Throughout Zillow, they're always pulling you back into that long form, right? Same thing all these big companies have figured out. You can't do business with clicks, right? They can't sell clicks. That's not their business model. They've got to convert leads. So they've done everything in their power to make sure when they get traffic, they're converting those people into actual tangible leads. You could be doing the same thing. It's like, why reinvent the wheel? Just mimic what these big companies are doing and generate your own exclusive leads, right? You don't need $1 billion a day marketing budget to be able to compete. You should just look at how these companies are approaching that lead capture process and recreate that same exact scenario. And that way you can create your own leads instead of relying on some company who's either stealing your leads from you and then selling them back to you, or, putting you in a situation where you're relying on them. And who knows, obviously these companies, they mark up the cost of leads. The lead quality usually sucks because they've sold it over and over again. Generate your own leads, be in charge of your own destiny, get better results from all of your marketing efforts by fixing this one crucial piece. And if you fix it, everything else that you're doing is going to start to work a lot better. And then it makes sense to look at other marketing you could be doing and turning on additional ways of getting traffic. But again, without that lead conversion foundation, none of the other stuff is going to work as it should. So if you like this video, if you want more of this kind of content, trying to produce this as regularly as I can, but go ahead and hit the bell to get notifications, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned because I'll be having a lot more content updated pretty frequently. Thanks for checking it out. See you soon.